conscious, non-PFD, conscious, PFD, mechanism of injury, cervical spine precautions, longboarding, right? We all agreed that each of our each of our medical directors has dictated that a backboard is nothing more than an extrication device, but it's a great extrication device in the water, right? Doesn't matter what platform you're working on. That Orange Beach.
There you go.
I didn't have to look. That Orange Beach boat, we can use the rear, the stern, that stern gunnel, right in that area there, that quarter on the beam. That boat sits low enough in the water that we could angle. Can somebody slide that board over here? With due respect, all the air comes right out of it. That gunnel sits low enough that I can have an individual up here. Okay, it might be a little bit, the angle may be a little bit steeper, right? But the premise is still the same. Once I get that individual to the backboard, then I've got something that I can move him on that makes it a little bit easier. Okay? Even if we're doing a body recovery, right? We can utilize this, get the individual into a body bag, and then onto the backboard. At that point, we're not concerned whether or not we have to secure him to the board. We can go ahead and secure him. We don't have to worry about that rollover aspect. Okay. So Darren's going to be my first victim. We talked about that whole swimmer, surface swimmer aspect, not rescue swimmer, but surface swimmer aspect. Extremely beneficial to have that type of an individual and to have that type of qualification, because it makes our job so much easier. We can manipulate a patient in the water that much easier if we're able to get in the water with that victim. What makes that even easier, or less strenuous, is if we use flippers, right? Because we have no real bullshit in the water. We're not made like a porpoise, we're not made like anything along those lines. I need two guys up here at the head of the backboard, and one guy out in the crew's going to be configured, okay?
John's gonna use his webbing.
Okay. So like I said, I carry a nice little length of webbing in my turnout gear. We've got it on our boats. Some of them have carabiners on them. Some of them are just like this. So if I get somebody to come over here and man the head of this board for me.
I think we have two guys, one on each side in the water.
Inside the water?
No, I was going to do just my manipulation of on in it.
Okay.
So, you know, people don't really care if what's going on when they're ready to get out of the water. Okay. So, one of the things that Brad talked about swimming with an individual, right? Half Nelson, you control their airway, right? I get horizontal, my body weight kind of supports his body weight. Makes it a whole lot easier if we got a PFD on. Okay, I can swim right around with him. Keep his airway open. I come right over the board. Okay, I drive him right onto the board. Okay, and all I'm doing, as soon as I get this webbing on here, all I'm doing with Darren, I've got him pinned to the board right now. See this? By myself, I have 100% control of him. We utilize this piece of webbing. Go right up underneath one shoulder, right into the back. There you go. The other side goes right in here. Like, you know, unmixed with that strap. Okay, I've got 100% control on it. Now you can equal those two sides out. Okay, you're gonna want another individual on this board because he's not gonna be able to pull all that weight out by himself.
Hey, what do you mean? Get it, Cap.
So now, what do we have? I have him secured to the board here and with my legs. Everybody can see how my legs are wrapped around him, and I'm basically close pinning him onto the board. Yep. He's right in between my legs. Then when we're ready to go, I want him to stay on the board. The strap's on the board. If something happens, if these guys lose grip, he comes off the board, he's not pinned to the board. His webbing's going to come off and he's going to float free of the board, so he's not stuck upside down.
Unlike your buckles.
Right. Makes sense to everybody? Okay.
I'm in a happier place already just because now as he put this into the board, remember you guys said this morning, now my head's up and out. So the patient's happy already.
Okay. So we're going to communicate together when these guys are ready to lift. They're just going to go up. We're not going straight up. We're going to use it as a lever, right? So we're going to go up and down. So you guys ready? 1, 2, 3. As he goes up,
And down. Fix him
I
up.
stay right with him. He's squared away on the board. They've got 100% control of it. If they need help, I can come over to the edge of the boat. But we don't want him to go down, so everybody understand that?
Yes. Bill starts gets ready.
All right, go ahead and slide back in.
And just let him slide in.
He comes free of the board. There's no issue there whatsoever, right?
As far as doing it by yourself, there's all the nicest little techniques because it's tough to do it other than by yourself anyway. So.
And Darren, you know, not to pick on him, but
He's a big kid. Go ahead, Sam.
not quite twice my size. Okay, whatchamajigger from Valparaiso, big gentleman from Valparaiso. He's a strip boat captain, literally twice my size. Who is it? There you go. Yeah. Same principle I did right there with Tim Brown. So that's one method, right? Once he's up on the deck, we can secure him with the backboards, put him into a Stokes. I like to put him into a Stokes because when I get to the dock, it makes it that much easier, right? Instead of trying to balance him on a backboard, he's inside the Stokes. I can get 4 guys around him, 4-point from the boat to the dock. Good to go.
You had to do a helo lift. Your Stokes is already set up for that, right? Or a 1-point suspension lift.
If you're going to hoist with, say, FWC or another agency other than the Coast Guard. Remember what I said earlier today? Coast Guard will not utilize your equipment. They are only going to use their gear or that of a small boat. So if there's a 25 that shows up on scene, 33, 45, whatever, they put them in their Stokes. The helo will hoist off of that. Okay? All right. So, like I said, pretty simple. Darren, no PFD, swam with him, controlled his airway, brought him to the board, slid him on, secured, up on the deck, learned her way back to the dock.
It all gets tons easier when you and/or the victim have PFD in.
Exactly. Yep, absolutely.
Where's the Stokes?
And you're obviously going to have that at least.
All right, so we'll do the same thing with the Stokes.
Oh, it's done.
Nice thing about the Stokes. Nice thing about a Stokes is see what it's doing right now.
I got it moist.
That thing's vertical in the water. So I can take Darren, I can grab Darren just like this. Grabbing that half Nelson. I switch off with Brad. Brad scoops right up underneath. Remember we talked about working parallel? Right there, be secured. With my arm. This is the boat. We're working right over the boat. Pivoting on it.
Now, folks, going to help us hook the PFDs up.
Take it right here. Darren's still squared away in it. I've got him secured at the waist. I don't know where the straps are on this.
They're colored. Connected probably underneath.
So we didn't disconnect it, but principle's there. Are there any tech rescue guys here? No. Or what? Okay. Tech rescue webbing, weaving it in for that guy.
Yeah.
2 simple little wraps. Same principle as the longboard, right? But that right there with the Stokes, Brad's controlling driving it right there. Now, granted, there's no sea state, there's nothing along those lines. But if we're in the back of the bayou and it's like this, Brad's controlling it. He's got a PFD on.
You hold him up with your knees.
He can get his legs, knees, toes right up underneath
I
there.
have no PFD. This is all the Stokes hold with both of us. So I just got my knees up in there to try to rock it back. If I let go, you can't break that up.
Brad's got him right there. I can come down here. I had my goggles on. I grabbed my straps. And are these, what are these, the slide straps? Oh, these buckles.
Yeah, they're
buckles.
They're all buckled together. Just kind of
If I had my goggles on, I could do that combat breathe, right? Take a breath, go down, get my buckles secure. Now this would be the point where we had a davit on the boat. We would secure that davit to this Stokes. Then
Pick 'em right up out of the water.
pick them right up out of the water. I would secure it before I'd at least hook it. And if I'm close enough, then work with my buckles. That way, Brad is able to give me an extra hand going to work on the buckles. Make sense for everybody? All right. Let's see, we covered swimming, C-spine. Want to take care of C-spine vlog?
So, C-spine. Here's my victim here. He's got this PFD on already. So I can come up right here. I can grab hold of this, and I can just cup the rest of his head with my hands, and I can swim around with pulling him around like this wherever I need to go. Another technique is coming up underneath here a little bit. Depending on the size of my victim, I can do that and give him that half Nelson or that full Nelson one. And again, I'm swimming around. This, I don't have a PFD on. It's only going to get easier when you do have a PFD on. If I come up, and I'm gonna have you take do a combat breath and lay face down for a second. Okay, go ahead and do that. So I'm gonna come in here kind of opposite. So as I roll them, my C-spine is already in place, and I can pull around with them that way. What else? What else? Anything else you guys have used or learned or seen anything that you like?
grab their arm with the face down.
Oh, doing the face down and then
Pull their arm and rotate them as you kick back.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Oh,
This right
okay.
here. Come on, pull it across face down. Big breath.
like a lifeguard.
Talking about where I take his arms right here.
Oh, that way, or you can just.
And then it's PFD in my hand.
Or if he's face on like that, you can just grab it, kick back,
lot
and
less
rotate it, and you already have it. That way you don't have to get so close to him.
On it. Let me see what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can throw a PFD on. You mean just like take it more on and roll? Bump face down,
Yeah.
grab this on.
Here, I think
You pick whichever way you want to roll me. And just like if I had it. You're
Always play a dummy without one.
You're only limited.
talk about like this right here. So you're trying to create distance in the event that you had a potential combative victim. Yeah, okay. Absolutely makes sense. But if they're face down, the odds of them coming up and becoming combative,
Right.
you know, yeah, we talk about EJ's world. Somebody might do that to him. You know,
Like a lifeguard. A lifeguard
Yeah.
would run into the same. A panic swimmer.
Yep. And that stuff you'll practice when you do, and if you do some of your training and as a surf swimmer, is you'll have that combative guy. That's where it's nice to have the goggles, so when they're splashing all around, you can splash him. And just be effective that way.
all right. So everybody pair up. Who's got a PFD on?
I gave it to him.
Always communicate to that victim because they're going to be panicked as it is. So if you don't communicate what you're doing, legitimately going to think that you're drowning, right?
Yeah, over by him.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. Remember what I said? I remember if I said it today or yesterday. Make sure when you take a good look at their PFD. There's a zipper and buckles, and you got time to have them secure the zippers and buckles. Have them do so, because if you don't, there's a good chance, like I said on that gal that I plucked out of the lake, that PFD ripped open. My partner lost grip on it. I managed to maintain positive grip on it, but had we both let go, she was going, and he was able to grab her arm. Had we both let go, she didn't have any gas, didn't know how to swim. She goes subsurface, she's done. Okay?
The other thing, if it's a conscious firefighter, one of your guys, you can cross over and hold on that life jacket to keep it from pulling up. So basically, we're going to take the buoyancy that the life jacket has. I'm going to push you and then pull you up until you're ready. So I'm going to take him, push him down a little bit. On the third time, I'm going to take the buoyancy of that jacket to help give you that lift to pull him up and over.
Get him up there. That's it.
So tell that victim, kick. Any little bit of kick that he'll give you, he or she'll give you, will help you immensely.
Real important, if it's a non-firefighter victim, let them know I'm going to push you under on that first one, right? Okay, so they don't take a mouthful and then kick, and then take them up.
So, I mean, we also use this a lot on rib boats, but I'm not sure how the skiff is. The skiff has a pretty small gunnel. You doing it. The one thing is that when you pull them up and over, basically that weight's going to fall on you and probably take you to the floor. So just be ready if there's any objects behind you when you go down.
I like to clear when I'm bringing somebody out of the water in that fashion. If I can, I will clear the deck. Okay, we do this a lot in ice rescue. When we have what's called a banana boat, and it's like a 16-foot boat, but it's got these. It looks like a banana, and it's open at the end. You run the boat over top the victim, and then you pull the victim through that hole. When you get that victim up, and you hit that pendulum, fall back. Just fall back. Let that individual fall on you. Okay, it's going to be a controlled fall because there's counterweight there, right? You're not just going to fall flat on your butt. That way, you're not pulling up with your back, you're not pulling with your shoulders, you're using your weight and momentum to get that individual into the boat. The one thing that I would caution you, there's some school of thought out there that'll have you cross your arms and cross the victim's arms. And as they come up, you spin them. When I was in Texas, the guy wound up tearing his rotator cuff from doing that motion. Came up, he opened up the X and it tore his rotator cuff. So I've kind of been steering clear of that method of instruction just because I don't want to see guys tear their shoulders up, things of that nature. So question it in the event that you ever go to a class where they encourage that. Not that there's necessarily something wrong with it, but I have witnessed an injury from it. So just keep that in mind.